All right, welcome everybody. Happy Saturday. Good to see everyone. Obviously, this is we're 1 week out now from our second annual convention that's going to be taking place in Orlando. I know a lot of you already have your rooms booked, you've got your flights booked, you're all set for the training next weekend. And we're excited to see everybody in Orlando. The corporate team has been working hard on our new recognition program that we're going to unveil in Orlando. We've been working on our new technology that you're going to be hearing a little bit about today, a little bit about tomorrow night, and then officially hearing about next weekend in Orlando. We've been working on this technology for months now, and I am so excited. I saw some of the technology yesterday with the tech team, and I'm blown away. I'm excited about it. I know what it's going to do for our business and our company. So I can't wait to share that with you. I'm going to give you a little bit of it today and then a little bit more tomorrow night on the corporate call. And then you're going to get the full skinny and the timeline and when it's going to be available and how it's all going to work next weekend in Orlando. So I would highly suggest if you've got any way to get to Orlando this coming weekend, that you do it. We're going to be meeting on Friday night at Volcano Bay, having an incredible opportunity for bonding and hanging out at one of the most popular water parks in the world. We've also got that day, our Lifer 300 and above gathering, our leadership retreat at the Bryte Lyfe Mansion on Friday. So if you were a Lifer 300 and above, if you've got any rank, you're eligible to attend that. So make sure you let your team know. We're going to be meeting on that Friday. We'll be sending you the address, location. You've already got the time and the agenda. So that's going to be on Friday morning. Then we're going to all get together as a group on Friday night. Then, of course, Saturday, we have our conference in Orlando, and we're excited about seeing everybody. It's going to be really kind of the birth of Bryte Lyfe 2.0 with this new technology that we've been working on and some things with our new B2B program. So you are definitely going to love the event, love the training. And so if there's any way you can get there last minute, I would highly suggest doing it. If you're, even if you're 2 or 3 states away, you could easily drive. There's incredible deals on the app. I've seen rooms as low as $40 a night within a mile of where our event is. So you could go on a budget. You could, of course, you could book one of the resort weeks as well. We have several people staying in condos leading up to the training and then after the training. And so there's just a lot of opportunities for you to still get to Orlando if you can. I would highly suggest doing that if at all possible. It's going to be absolutely incredible. And you're about to hear a little bit of our story and my story. I wanted to do this today to kind of celebrate our 2 year anniversary. I got a chance to see the Dallas team this last week celebrate 2 years, where we officially launched in May of 24. And then also celebrate with the team in Florida here last week. And so, it's been an incredible couple of weeks of the celebrations and people acknowledging our success. If you've seen the posts, if you haven't seen them, go check out my social media page or the Bryte Lyfe corporate page. And we've got the posts on there talking about the achievements that we've made over the last 2 years. Most companies fail in their first 2 years. So this is a really big deal for us. And that's why I wanted to do this today, talk a little bit about the history of Bryte Lyfe, how it came to be, how I got here, and what I see for the future. Some things that we're working on, some things that we want to have in the future. So I want to go through some of that with you today. And so that's what today's training is going to be about. So I'm going to share my screen with you. All right. Now, for those of you that don't know my history, my background, I want to give you just a little bit of, kind of why Bryte Lyfe came to be. What started it, what created it. I want to walk you through this and kind of talk to you about, what the reasoning was, what my vision was. Because I think if you understand where we're going and what our plans are for the future, I think it makes it easier for you to talk about what we're doing, to get excited about it, And so I always go back to, disruption. And I've tried to stay on top of trends. I follow a lot of the business pages online on social media. I don't watch TV, so I read a lot, on the business news, CNBC. I get a lot of news from the different sources that I follow on Twitter, X, and also on different business social media pages, founder pages, VCs. And so I try to really stay on top of trends to be able to, guide the company, lead the company, and look at where trends are going, what's happening. And so today I want to talk about some of those things because when we started my first travel club back in 2005, World Ventures, we were trying to do something different. We were trying to create something that was different. And it really resonated with me because I had watched disruption taking place in other industries. We started that company back in 2005. And so that was very early internet and very early internet travel. This was before MySpace. This was before Facebook. Some of you probably don't even remember MySpace. And so this was early tech. And so we had seen what had happened in different industries because of the internet and because of early internet. And that first industry, when we started World Ventures, really that we looked at was what had happened in the long distance industry. Because when I went to college in 1996, we had to go with prepaid phone cards in order for us to be able to call home, talk to our parents. I had a cell phone in case of emergencies, but this was pager days, and so like I had a pager, I had a cell phone that was like crazy, like $10 a minute, that was for an emergency. It was a square little, Nokia phone. And so in order for us to call home in the dorms, we had to have prepaid calling cards. You couldn't call out on the dorm phone. And so when I left, I went to college, 6 hours away from where I was from. And so my parents sent me with calling cards so I could call home and, check in and talk to my family because I was, a long ways from home. And I only went home on holidays, major holidays. So I would see my family in person, summer break, winter break, and that was pretty much it. I was in a campus that was over 6 hours away from where I was from, driving. And I had never even been on a plane until I got to college, so I didn't fly. I didn't grow up traveling and vacationing. And so this was an important way for me to stay in touch with my family. And that entire industry was really turned upside down, where that was how everybody communicated long distance wise, was these prepaid phone cards. And then, of course, as cell phones became more prevalent and then people had landlines that had unlimited long distance, this industry really went away. And so when we were creating World Ventures, we were looking at companies that were disrupting their industry. And there have been other companies that have come along and disrupted their industry, So long distance, obviously, you had Skype. And now what's funny is Skype is gone too. I mean, Skype is still there, but now we can message and we can call through WhatsApp or through Facebook or through Instagram. I mean, nobody's paying long distance anymore. And so we were looking at things that were happening at that point. Netflix had really redefined video rentals. I grew up as a Blockbuster kid. I was renting movies from Blockbuster, and like we had one VHS player in my house. And so I remember going to Blockbuster with my brother and sister, and we would each be able to rent one movie. And then it would be like a fight when we got home on who was going to be able to watch their movie first, because they would let each one of us, my parents would let us each rent a movie at Blockbuster. So we'd go home with three movies. We had one VHS player. And then, of course, you had Netflix come along, and they started, their mail-in DVD video rental business, which has now become the largest streaming video platform for, movies and shows. And so that has all evolved over the last 20 years. I mean, it didn't even exist 20 years ago. And so then you look at what's happened with taxis, and what's wild is we were looking at what was starting to happen with Uber and then later Lyft, and now you're hearing about robo taxis and Waymo, that there may not even be cab drivers, 5 years from now. So what's happened over the last 20 years, since I started my first travel company, is wild. I mean, if you think about it, I mean, the internet's really only been around for 30 years. And so all of this has happened in the last 30 years. And a lot of what I'm talking about right now has happened in the last, 10 to 15 years primarily. And so, when I was part of World Ventures, and I'm going to walk you through kind of our timeline, and I want to equate it to where we are with Bryte Lyfe. But really, the idea behind Bryte Lyfe was trying to create a way to give people access to things that most people don't think that they can get to or get access to. Meaning that I was blessed as I built my business in World Ventures to be able to go to all these incredible sporting events. I've been to all the major music festivals. I've been to Stagecoach, Coachella, been to Tomorrowland, been to Ultra, been to EDC, been to Ultra Europe. I mean, I've been to all these amazing things. I've been to the Super Bowl multiple times. I've been to the World Series. I've been to the NBA Finals. I go to the Kentucky Derby every year. I mean, I've been to F1. All these incredible things. Have been multiple PGA golf events, live golf events. I've been to the Waste Management Open. I mean, I've been able to do these amazing, incredible things. And along those years, when I was making millions of dollars, the money was what gave me the access. And so what I felt like was that most people were not going to have the access to be able to join a country club, to be able to go to the World Series, to go to the Super Bowl, to go to F1, to go to the Kentucky Derby, to stay at amazing five-star properties. People ask me all the time, they're like, Wes, why do you do, 3 nights at a five-star for bucket list? Why not do 4 nights or 5 nights and do a 3-star? I've had people come up to me and say that to me, and I go, because if somebody has waited their entire life to go to Dubai or to go to the Maldives or to go to even Mexico or Hawaii or wherever, Miami. I mean, it doesn't even have to be out of the country. If this is on their bucket list, to me, as an experienced traveler, an avid traveler who's had incredible opportunities, I wanted to give people an opportunity to experience something that they probably never experienced before and may not ever experience again. And that's really the crux of the bucket list program. And so the bucket list program was really the genesis of what we wanted to do with Bryte Lyfe. We wanted to literally cross your bucket list off for you. Now, here's the crazy part, okay? When we started this, because for me, this journey started in late 2023. It took us, 10 months essentially to put the technology together. And we launched in May of 2024 with just our travel search engine and our bucket list program. That's all we had. Okay. And I'm gonna walk you through some of this in just a little bit. But I want to talk to you about why we started the company in the first place, why we're here, what our mission is, what our objective is. And what we've been able to do over the last 2 years, we've given away hundreds, over 500 now bucket list trips, which is crazy. We've even got people now that have earned 2 bucket list trips. Okay. So this is, I mean, we're doing things that have never been done before. No company ever on the planet had ever even asked its customers or tracked its customers' bucket list. That was something proprietary. That was something unique. That was something that's still not being duplicated. Nobody's done it. To my knowledge, I haven't seen it, haven't heard about it. That was really our mission. And when we started this, our vision wasn't just to do travel. Our vision was to create experiences too, or give people access to experiences that they wouldn't have any other way. And so eventually, we think that the bucket list program will evolve into even more types of activities and experiences beyond just destinations. That's our goal. Our goal is to integrate so many of these features, so many of these events, so many of these opportunities and experiences, and continue to create partnerships with brands that you're going to be hearing more about, that we're having deep conversations with major brands. I mean, with celebrities and major influencers, that one of these things could literally turn Bryte Lyfe into a household name overnight. And that's why I'm encouraging you with this conversation today, that you want to take advantage of what's here right now, because, it would be really easy to just use the membership and kind of sit around and wait and see and watch and see what happens over the next couple of years, 2, 3 years, and then get involved when one of these celebrity deals or whenever one of these major influencers joins Bryte Lyfe and it goes viral, or we get picked up on a major, media story because of our bucket list trips or because of Give Life, because of all the things that we're doing. I mean, any one of those things, literally overnight, something could happen. Information is shared all over the internet every single day, and something could change, and we could all wake up on a Monday and everybody could be calling you saying, "You're part of Bryte Lyfe. Like, how do I get in?" Because people can't come to the website. In fact, we have people that come to the website and they can't join because you've got to be invited by a member. And so our goal was to get you to a place where you no longer had to pay for travel, where you could earn travel and also earn experiences. Like you just heard about recently, we just added the ability to use your travel dollars for golf. And so, with that, I mean, that's the beginning of us giving you access to use money that you've earned through the influencer program to be able to book concerts, sporting events, golf, travel, entertainment. You're eventually going to use that Bryte Lyfe currency to be able to pay for all of these things in your life that you want to do. So even if it's not your bucket list trip, you could be crossing off your bucket list trip. I mean, you'll be able to buy Super Bowl tickets. You'll be able to buy concert tickets. You'll be able to, get experiences or excursions using your travel dollars, using our digital currency, the Bryte Lyfe currency. And so you're going to be in a position over the next few years to where you no longer pay for any of these things. Think about that for a second. You're going to be able to travel around the world, to go to events, sporting events, shows, concerts, music festivals, and you're not going to have to pay for it. You're going to be able to earn it just by sharing a concept that eventually, I firmly believe, people will want to be a part of it and they will seek you out versus you seeking them out because of what we're doing, because of what we're creating, because of the trends that are happening. And so I want to walk you through how we got here, how I got here, and I want to show you an eerily similar time frame on where we are in our Bryte Lyfe history and where World Ventures was in its first 2 years. Because I think a lot of times people hear the success stories and they hear about it and they see me on stage in front of thousands of people, or they hear about other companies or other businesses, but we're just 2 years old. We've done a lot in 2 years. In fact, in my opinion, we've created the most exciting opportunity, the best product for the consumer in just 2 years. And we've already come so far. But what's crazy is that you guys don't even know the things that we're working on for the future. You don't even know about some of the roadmap and some of the things that we're going to be announcing, some of the technology that we've been building. I mean, I'm in conversations every single week with our developers and our designers and our engineers and our team on all of these future projects. We're working on things that are probably not even going to be released until 2027 to some degree. But what's crazy is these are things that any one of these components could literally make Bryte Lyfe a household name overnight. And if you're positioned, if you're in now and you're building a team, and even if you have 2 people on your team or 3 people on your team or 5 people on your team, you're going to be able to take advantage of it. Now, a lot of people refer to my background and a lot of people look at the success that we had at World Ventures. But I want to take you back to 2006. We pre-launched the company in 2005. But what's crazy is we worked for months and we had nothing to sell. So probably from at least October of 25 until February, as you see here, of 26, we had no product. But we were signing people up and we were charging them a membership fee, but we didn't have anything. The reason is because we were a bootstrap startup. We had no technology. We were self-funded and we were signing people up and we were selling them the dream. We were selling them vision. We were saying, this is what you're going to have as a member of World Ventures in 2005 and early 2006. And so this is a screenshot of that first presentation that we built back in 2005. So October, November, December, January, we were signing people up. but we had nothing for them to use, nothing for them to book, nothing for to sell to them, but we were charging a membership fee on the pretense that we were going to have these trips. And our first tagline was the trip of a lifetime monthly, meaning what we offered, what our product was access to one vacation per month every year. That was it. It was a wholesale trip. We would broker, we would negotiate, and myself personally, because I came from the travel industry, my first travel company I started in 2001. I'm the one who planned these first few dream trips back in 2005 that we launched in 2006. So we were selling people something that we were charging, by the way, to sign up $350 because we charge 150 bucks a month. We charge a 199 initiation fee. So the first month was 350 bucks. And they literally for 5 or 6 months could not book anything. And then whenever they could, we were slowly rolling out one trip per month. And so that was it. That was the whole product. And we were charging almost what we're charging for the Bryte Lyfe membership today for what you see on your screen. And at the time, this was just a sample of what was going to be available. Now, post inflation, $150 in 2006 is probably more like $500 per month if you look at where things have been price wise over the last 20 years, because this was 20 years ago. So it's a 2 year anniversary for Bryte Lyfe, but this is a 20-year look back at what we started in 2006. Now, like I said, when we started, no product, only sample trips, no website, no back office. I was signing people up in those first 5 months on paper. We didn't even have a merchant account. So I was literally managing the growth of my team just by my stacks of paper. We never had an app. We tried to build one, but the iPhone came out in 2007. And so we tried to build an app, but we never launched one that worked. We didn't have a loyalty program until much later. Our Dream Trips reward points, which also were a problem. And so we did all of what I'm talking about and what you're about to see with what you see on the screen. And so we didn't have anything. And then when we finally did launch, we finally did turn the back office on. We announced 1 or 2 trips, and then it was just one trip a month. That's all we had. And we were signing people up. Now, what's crazy is when I started, this was my team at the first event that we did. So this was my team. We had, maybe 20 of us there at that first event. And so, this was the genesis of what we started back in 2006. And then about a year in, about a year and a half in, this was the size of the audience. And like I said, this is why I bring this up and I show you this because a lot of people look at where we ended and what happened to World Ventures over time, but they were not there in the beginning. They didn't see what it was like. They didn't see what we started with and that we had nothing and that we didn't even have a website. I mean, it's just crazy to think about. And if you look at the size of this room, this is where we were basically like a year to a year and a half in. And so the trajectory of where we've been with Bryte Lyfe has been very similar to what we started with at World Ventures. And then eventually we got to events like this, and this event was in Europe. And so we did events like this all over the world. We did them in Australia. We did them in Asia. We did them in Africa. We did them in Europe. We did them in the US. And our biggest event is the one that you see on my Instagram page, on my Facebook page. I actually was the keynote speaker at this event on the first day in AT&T Stadium. We had over 25,000 people there. It was actually the night of my daughter's daddy-daughter dance, and it was her first one. And so I actually walked out with her for my keynote message in the dress that she was going to wear at the daddy-daughter dance. And then I didn't know, but they actually played a song for us. So it was a really special moment. My dad was there backstage with me, who, always supported me through all of my endeavors. But I got a chance to share this incredible moment with my daughter. When she walked off stage later, she told me, she goes, "I'm never going to take these shoes off." It was like the most amazing experience for her. She said, being in front of all these people dancing in these shoes. And so it was just a really cool experience. But where we started obviously was not where we ended. And so there were times in that first year and a half, that second year, where it was a struggle. We were selling a new concept. We were trying to be disruptive. We were doing something that had never been done before in terms of group travel. This was the very first trip that we did to Costa Rica. And it's also kind of interesting and unique because I was just in Costa Rica on this exact same beach just a few days ago. And almost exactly where this picture was taken. This was in 2006. It was in March. It was the second dream trip that we ever did. I planned this trip for World Ventures, and this was basically my group that was there with me. So this was now at this point almost a year in to us building the business, and this was my team that was coming with us. And that's why I want to share this with you because there's going to be some of you that are watching this right now, and maybe you're not registered for Orlando, but you're gonna have a realization, and you're gonna say, "Man, if I would have just locked arms with Wes back in 2006, in this same type of environment, I have the opportunity now with Bryte Lyfe to lock arms with him and build something that, in my opinion, in my belief, and I believe this, and I can give you countless reasons. I could talk for hours about why I think Bryte Lyfe will be bigger than what we built at World Ventures and why it will sustain and how we've been able to do that. And I'm going to talk about some of it today, but I wanted to do this flashback. It's just so crazy because literally I'm standing on this exact same beach last week with my buddies, 20 years essentially to the date, almost 20 years exactly. And this was the very first dream trip that we did at World Ventures back in 2006, and had some incredible friends that I'm still friends with that I met on this trip. And then we got up to this point where we were having dream trips with thousands of people. We had the world's largest group vacation. It was a Guinness Book of World Records. Our "You Should Be Here" signs were held by Julian Edelman during the Super Bowl parade. We had over 1 million photos on Instagram with our "You Should Be Here" signs. And so what started with this eventually became this. But when we were in our first year and second year, this is what it looked like. It was this, it wasn't this. And it was this, it wasn't this. But this is why I wanted to talk to you about this today and encourage you that if you're not coming to Orlando, reconsider, think about it. And then if you're not able to make it to Orlando, I want to give you the date right now of when our next event is going to be, so that you can put it on your calendar and you can save it for your team. And so we're going to be doing our next event, and these tickets will go on sale this weekend. But you want to put this in your calendar now. It is going to be November 20th through the 22nd. Okay. And I'm not going to tell you the location right this second, but I'm going to give you a hint in just a moment. But I want you to put that date down because this is what we're building towards. This was another event that we did, 15,000 people. And then one of the other big parts of, my personality and the reason for doing this was also to be able to give back. Now, I love kids. I'm a girl dad. It's an important part of who I am as a person. And over the time at World Ventures, we built over 100 schools in Guatemala through the Hug It Forward Foundation. We also built over 100 basketball courts with the Nancy Lieberman Foundation. This is me. And what's crazy is some of these kids in this picture, they still message me and send me birthday wishes and Christmas wishes through social media. They had one computer in this little village in a little house that everybody essentially used. And so a lot of the kids that I met during this, and this was 15 years ago now, so these kids are all grown now. But this was one of the schools that I funded and my team helped build in Guatemala of the 100 plus that we did. And I still get messages from these kids about the impact that we had on their lives. And then this was the court that I helped to dedicate and create in Amarillo, Texas, which is where I grew up and where I graduated from high school. And so this was done with the Nancy Lieberman Foundation, our Dream Court project. My dad was also at this. And so this is really sentimental to me. I lost my dad at the end of 24. And he was always supportive of what we were doing. And he loved the fact that we were going to be doing these Give Life projects. And so that was really part of the reason for us starting Bryte Lyfe. We wanted to do something that was different. I wanted to finish what I started with World Ventures. I wanted to find something different. I wanted to find something unique. And that's where you talk about the X factor and doing something that had never been done before. That's why I'm so excited about being the first ever digital country club and really becoming more than just a travel company. When we started 2 years ago, it was just travel. It was just the bucket list trip. It was just our hotel search engine. And now we've grown so much. And if you look at what the definition is of X Factor, it says that it could have the most significant impact on outcome or a noteworthy or special talent or quality. And that's what we were trying to do when we created Bryte Lyfe. We wanted to do something that had never been done before. And you look at what the travel industry alone is over $1.9 trillion. And this stat's a few years old. Now this number is over $2 trillion in terms of the industry. But that's what we started with, okay? Because now we've been able to bring in all of the most popular trends, the most popular sports, the most popular activities. And so our demographics, it's funny, people ask me all the time, they're like, well, Wes, what's your typical customer? Or what's your target customer? And I say, everybody is a target customer of Bryte Lyfe, because if you don't like travel, you like sports. If you don't like sports, you like music. If you don't like music, you like entertainment, or you want to have fun. I mean, and you're into wellness or health and wellness. Maybe you've had a health scare and wellness is more important to you, or maybe it's always been important to you. We have literally all the demographics covered, which means that we have no competition. It's global. We already have everything in over a dozen languages. And if we need it in another language, all you have to do is ask, and we'll have it in any language you need it in. Our potential customers are in the billions, right? We have billions of potential customers. We don't have a target customer. We don't have a target market. We can literally sign up anybody, which allows us to grow without borders, without time zones, and have an incredible retention. We have the best retention of any company I've ever seen in my 30 plus years in this industry. No one has been able to show me a better retention than what I've had. And I've been showing our retention and sharing our retention since I did a message back in August of 2024 that's on my personal YouTube page. You can go watch it. I made predictions about the network marketing industry that, by the way, have all come true already. Okay. I made predictions back in that video in August of 24 about companies that were billion-dollar brands that sold products in MLM that were going to go out of business. I made predictions about iMarkets Live, IML, IM Mastery Academy, a company that I consulted for, that they'd be out of business in 18 months. They were out of business in under 10. And so nobody's been able to do what we've been able to do. And we're 2 years old, right? Nobody has the value. There are thousands, literally thousands of people that pay $200 to $400 per month on top of their country club monthly dues and initiation fees to just have access to our golf program. Okay. So that means they're paying on average about $1,000 a month for their country club dues every single month. And on top of that, they pay $200 to $400 more just to get access to our golf benefit. We include the golf benefit with everything else and give you a bucket list trip, and it's only $179. No one else has this. No one else is doing this. Nobody's ever done the bucket list program. Nobody's ever given somebody a bucket list trip. Nobody's ever even asked them what's on their bucket list. Like, there's so many things about what we're doing. The opportunity has absolutely no competition. Now, I want to talk to you really quick about some of the things that I'm already working on, that we're already building, that we're already planning, that probably would blow your mind. And I want you to think about this for a second, because one of my goals personally was to have vacation homes in all the places that I love to visit. And then when I wasn't in that home, I would put them in a rental pool and make money on those homes so that they would all pay for themselves, and so that I could literally travel around all over the world to my properties, and they would be an asset that would be producing revenue and paying for themselves. And I've already done it. So I had the number one house in Tulum. I had the number one charter yacht in the Bahamas. I had the top 5 lake houses in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. I already know that model. So we've been building on the back end the ability to put short-term rentals into our platform from our members. So your properties will show up right next to Hilton, Hyatt, Four Seasons, Ritz-Carlton, Best Western, Holiday Inn, Courtyard Marriott, whatever, they're going to show up right there in the system. You're eventually going to be able to put your homes, if you have a home that's a rental for short term, you'll be able to put it right into the Bryte Lyfe app, and you're going to be able to display it right alongside all of those hotels. Now, do you realize Airbnb can't do that? VRBO can't do that. Now, Expedia bought VRBO because they wanted to try to integrate it. So now they've got a lot of VRBO properties that are part of Instant Book are already part of our platform because we get all of their stuff at wholesale. So we've already got a lot of those short-term rentals already at wholesale through our app, through VRBO, but they can't put hotels right next to rentals. So if you're looking for a rental, you're not going to see hotels. And if you're looking for a hotel, you're not going to see rentals. And with our technology, our rentals from our members through our technology that we're building will be able to show up right there in your results. So if you search Cancun and you have a home in Cancun, it's going to be there. And if we have members that have properties, we're going to put that above everything else that's in our ecosystem. So we're going to highlight and feature our members' properties directly through the app. So we have a built-in demographic, a built-in customer for these homes. But check this out. We're also going to create a investment fund for Bryte Lyfe members and influencers to be able to invest into properties that we can purchase as a group, as a collective in these most popular tourist destinations, and then feed them directly into the Bryte Lyfe ecosystem when we have thousands and hundreds of thousands and millions of customers. Your property, if you're one of the equity holders in our Bryte Lyfe investment fund, you're going to have access to those properties at even deeper discounted rates. And you're going to be making returns. Even if you can't buy an entire house, you will be able to invest with us as a group. And these are things that we're already talking about, that we're already working on. The back end for the short-term rental program is really could be turned on at any point. We're going to get to a point where we feel like it's worth our time because there's obviously going to be a different level of customer support and some additional technology features that we need to add. And so when we add these things, it's going to be unbelievable for your business because you're going to have an opportunity to make more money, possibly even make a residual on adding properties to our platform, and also participate in our investment fund. Or if you have your own properties, put them right into the app. And so there are so many things that we're working on that would literally blow your mind. I just wanted to talk about a few of them. Eventually we may even wind up doing a small hotel, boutique hotel, or development with Bryte Lyfe members because we've got a built-in customer base for a boutique property, for a miniature hotel, small hotel, boutique type hotel. And so there's going to be so many opportunities in the future over the next 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. You're getting access to all of this stuff now. And so the future looks incredible. And here's the best part. Like I said, I'm watching all the trends. So I'm watching the wellness trends. I'm watching the health trends. I'm watching the sports trends. We've already got golf, which by the way, golf has overtaken pickleball in terms of eyeballs, viewership, popularity. It's really the fastest growing leisure type sport in the world. And we also are about to announce some pickleball partnerships. We're working on paddle partnerships. So we're going to have pickleball. We're going to have paddle. We're going to be doing Bryte Lyfe pickleball events. We're going to be doing Bryte Lyfe paddle events. We're going to be doing more Bryte Lyfe golf events. We're going to have Bryte Lyfe golf tournaments. And we've already got our own Bryte Lyfe social golf league here in Sarasota. And I will teach any of you how to do the exact same thing in your market. We had almost 50 players this last week at our second week of doing our Bryte Lyfe golf social scramble. We had 32 the first week, over 40 this last week, and it's growing like crazy. I think within the next few weeks, we may even have 100 people playing every single week in our Bryte Lyfe golf social league. And so we've got all the trends. If you look, I've been posting it. If you're not already following me, follow me at Wes Melcher on Instagram. I share these trends. I've reshared them. If you go look at my reshares, you'll see the trends in golf. You'll see the trends in pickleball. You'll see the trends in travel. You'll see the trends in wellness. You'll see the trends in music. Coachella just broke all the records in terms of merch, in terms of ticket sales, in terms of revenue, in terms of attendance at festivals. And so literally what you're seeing happen right now, we're on the forefront of all of it. We have the only direct discount wholesale relationship with the major music festivals in the world. No one can get discounts to music festival tickets except for us. It's something that's proprietary. No non-physical country club has access to the 250 private clubs and semi-private clubs and resort courses that we're giving you access to. No one. You'd have to go join a country club, pay your initiation fee, pay your monthly fee, and then on top of that, pay the World Vantage fee on top of your country club membership. And so we've got all of the trends. We've got all of the activities that people are doing. And I've shared the other thing about community and people wanting to connect. That's why our events have gotten so big here in Sarasota. We're doing these fun social networking events and people are excited about it. And so we can cover all of the demographics. It doesn't matter what people's interests are and what they're into. We can do it, and we own the technology. It's ours. We don't have to wait for somebody to make changes. We don't have to request to make changes. We can make changes on the fly. We can add things as we get new partnerships, as we get new vendors. It's already best in class. No one has what we have. 3 million plus hotels. We're about to turn on some more vendors in terms of hotels. Plus, here's a little sneak peek. We're also about to turn on the ability for someone to search for travel as a guest, as a non-member, and see the retail price. And at the same time, see the Bryte Lyfe price. And if they want to get the Bryte Lyfe price, they're going to be able to click a button and join right through you on a search button through the app without having to go download anything else or without having to do anything else. We're literally weeks away from that technology going live. And so you're going to be able to use our product and use our benefits and use our services to recruit and attract additional members. And we're already doing this. We're already building it. It's all coming soon. In fact, you're going to see more about it tomorrow night. You're going to see many more details in Orlando next weekend. Everybody in Orlando, you're going to be the first ones that are going to be able to have beta access to this new technology. So one more reason to come to Orlando last minute, if you're not already coming, is that you're going to be first. So everybody that's in Orlando, you're going to be the first ones to be able to register and get beta access to this new technology. And part of that new technology is what I just talked about. We've already given away over 500 bucket list trips. We've done multiple Give Life projects. Our next one is this coming week in Orlando. Remember, if you have not already purchased one of the items on the wish list for the Arnold Palmer Children's Hospital, I encourage you to do that. We got to get that stuff this week so that we can take it to them on Friday. You can have it shipped directly to me. You don't have to bring it with you. So make sure that if you've not already seen that, go to the Facebook group or go to the WhatsApp group and see the link for that. We'll talk about that again tomorrow night. I'll make sure that we share the link for that tomorrow on the corporate call. So we want to have everybody participate in that tomorrow night. And so I'll make sure, in fact, Eva, if you're on here, maybe you can share that link in the chat for where the shopping cart list is for everybody. Let me see really quick here. Yeah, Eva's here. So Eva, if you could put the link in the chat um, on the for the service project, because even if you're not in Orlando, you can still participate with the service project. And this is going to benefit the Arnold Palmer Children's Hospital. We're super excited about this. Obviously, our partnership with World Vantage is through the Arnold Palmer Golf Company. So this is another organization that we're trying to give back to. That's been a big part of what we're doing. If you could put that in there, I'll make sure that we get that to everybody as well. If you haven't already, go back to my slides. Okay. We already have the most aggressive compensation plan. We have the easiest compensation plan. We have the easiest qualifier. And so everything is built for speed. Now, you throw on top of that B2B and something that you're going to hear about very soon called Influencer Pro, which is going to be a precursor to our new B2B program. And it's going to be part of this new technology that we've been working on. We've been working on this literally for almost a year. This is going to be one of the biggest announcements we've ever made. No one else in our industry has the tools and features that are going to be part of this new technology. I'm going to share a little bit more tomorrow night, but I'm just telling you, you're going to be blown away when you see what we've been working on, and it's all very close. And so if you look at what we've got, compared to the rest of the industry, even outside of network marketing, okay, nobody has their own technology, all right? Nobody has their own tech stack, meaning that they're using white labels, they're using other people's tech, they're plugging in, they didn't build anything, they don't control it, so they can't make changes, they can't make upgrades, they can't make improvements. It all depends on their vendors that they do business with. So it's all copycats. I mean, all the companies that have tried to copy our benefits program, they've tried to copy our loyalty program. All of our competitors in the MLM space know what we're doing. You can look at what everybody's done over the last 2 years. You can look at the new company that just launched in the last few weeks. They literally copied our price point. They copied, our travel program, but that's all they have. And they're the same price. They copied our comp plan. I mean, everybody is looking at what we're doing and nobody has what we have. They've tried, but nobody can build it. Everything we have is proprietary and unique, and we own it. We created it. We're not using white labels. We're not using, a third-party tech. We own our own tech. And then you look at even in the golf space, if you look at the competitors that I've talked about, like M19, it's a mastermind group, thousands of dollars to join that. There's other golf programs like Troon Golf and Epic Golf Club. $50,000 to join some of those programs. I mean, there's travel programs like Inspirato and exclusive resorts, $250,000 to buy into their very exclusive timeshare program. And then you're locked into one brand or one company or one chain. And people, the average timeshare in the United States, over $30,000 that Americans spend on timeshares on average. Some timeshares now 50, 60, 75,000, 100,000. I met somebody a couple weeks ago here in Sarasota that paid over $125,000 for a fractional ownership program, which is a timeshare disguised as real estate ownership, but it's not. And so we don't have any competition. Nobody can get the value of what we've created and what we have. You look at what the $179 no-brainer is for people. The average home internet bill is almost $100. The average cell phone bill is almost $200. The average American family vacation is over $7,500. The average country club membership is over $9,000 annually. Okay, $9,000 annually. And so if you look at these dollar amounts, what we're charging for $179 is really pretty silly. I mean, nobody else can get what we've got. Nobody else has what we have, let alone be able to pay and get everything that's included in our membership. Now, here's what I want to show you. What's wild about where we're sitting in terms of our technology, in terms of the categories, the benefits. Okay, I want you to look at the top app categories, okay, in the world. Games, right? What's games? Sports. Okay, so sports is one of the top app categories in the world. So this is not just, video games. This is sporting events. This is gambling games, things that are tied to sports and activities. And so games and sports is literally the number one category. Then you look at business. Okay, obviously we have an opportunity here attached to our program. You're going to see the Influencer Pro technology very soon, and it's going to blow your mind. And nobody else in our industry has it. So we're going to be doing things that nobody's ever done before. Nobody has. It's crazy when you look at it. Then you look at education. You look at all of our training and all of our training that we provide every Saturday. Denson does an incredible job in our fast start trainings, our new member trainings. We've got content for our members constantly. So we're giving our members, and then you look at Corey's wellness content, all the things that we're providing in terms of education. It's not just business, it's relationships, it's wellness, it's fitness. I mean, Corey just did his Friday Fit yesterday. I mean, these are things that you're getting from our technology. So you're getting games and sports, you're getting business, you're getting education, lifestyle. I mean, we are the premier lifestyle app. I mean, entertainment. So if you look at this, okay, the top 5 app categories, and then you have travel, okay, right below that. So literally 6 of the top 7 app categories are our pillars. They're our components of what we have. So when you think about how big our market is, how big the potential is, how big the demographics could potentially be for Bryte Lyfe, it's not a matter of if we're going to get to 1 million members. It's just how long it's going to take us to get to 1 million. And then it's how big are we going to get? Are we going to get to 10 million? Are we going to get to 100 million? Here's what I want to show you, okay? If you look at the user base of some of these most popular apps, if we were just to get to half of 1% of these users, okay, half of 1% of LinkedIn would put us at 5 million users, 6 billion in sales. If we just had half of 1% of WhatsApp, that would be 10 million users. That's 12 billion in annual sales. Okay, these are annual sales numbers based on our numbers, based on our cost, based on what we would be doing if we had 10 million members. Then you look at Facebook. They have 3 billion plus users, almost 4 billion now. It's half of 1% of that would be 15 million users. That'd be 36 billion annually if we just had half of 1% of what Facebook had. 15 billion in sales. That means that you'd be making 10,000 times what you're making right now in terms of revenue for your business, because if our company is that big, we're paying out literally half of every dollar that comes in back in commissions. So that's what we're going to be paying out. And so I know some of you have heard Denson talk about this, but I don't think you really realize where we're at right now in terms of opportunity, because we're only 2 years old. So we're still in formulation. We're still getting started. We're still building our core program. We're still adding our core benefits. You know, we're still looking for leaders. I'm looking for people that want to get in the trenches and want to run and want to rank up. If that's you, okay, I want you to put sevens in the chat right now, because I'm looking for people to put time into their business, help them in their market, answer questions, help them grow. And so if this is you, put sevens in the chat right now. I want you to reach out to me. I want you to reach out to Denson. I want you to talk to us. You can even reach out to Eva too. Eva can help you plan the most amazing events. She can help you find a location for your events. I mean, we are here to help you. And this is the opportunity that's in front of you right now. I showed you what it was like in the first 2 years of World Ventures. I just showed you the pictures, real life. I was literally standing on the beach 20 years, almost, it's crazy. It was literally 20 years and 2 months to the date of when that photo was taken. And so when you look at what we did then and what we're doing now and the growth trajectory and where we're positioned with all these categories and all these benefits, where they overlap and go over the most popular trends, the most popular sports, the most popular activities, and the fact that we're building this global community, no one else has what we have. I promise you, a year from now or 2 years from now, if you don't take advantage of what we've built and you don't talk to people about what we're doing, you are going to kick yourself. It is going to be quite possibly the biggest regret that you've ever made. I firmly believe it. I believe it with my heart. I believe it with my soul. We've already made it 2 years. Most companies don't even make it. In fact, I told you a couple weeks ago, you know, one of our competitors launched right before we did with some friends of mine. They started it. They launched right before we did, and they're already out of business. Okay. They bragged about how many people they signed up during their pre-launch. Oh, we signed up 10,000 people. And I go, you don't have anything. You don't have any tech. They just had a white label copycat website. That's all they had. No retention, no loyalty, and they're out of business. And we're going strong. You know, we want to be bigger. Are we satisfied? No, we're not satisfied. Do we have enough leaders? No. Do we need more leaders? Yes. Do we need people to step up? Yes. Do we need more people in Orlando? Yes. The answer is yes. But we're here. And already one of our competitors that started basically at the same time we did is already out of business. And so we're in formulation right now, but over the next year to 2 years, when you see Influencer Pro and you see our B2B program and you see some of the things that we're going to be launching and some of these things go live, it's going to be too late. 2 years from now, 3 years from now, 4 years from now, the people that are here right now that take advantage of it, you're going to be making 200,000 a month, 150,000 a month, like I was, you know, in World Ventures. You're going to be making $500,000 a month. And there's going to be people that are going to come in 2, 3, 4 years from now, and they'll be able to make money. But they're not going to get to 500K like you are, because they're going to help you get to 500K, because they're going to come in 100 levels below you, or 200 levels below you, or 1,000 levels below you, or 2,000 levels below you. And that's the power of a binary. It doesn't matter when they join. It doesn't matter where they join. Anybody on your team, right or left, counts for you the same as if you sign them up yourself. The only difference is you don't get the 100 travel dollars. That's it. And so as we get into concentration, then eventually momentum and stability, you're going to have an opportunity that has never been presented before. Because I told you, we could be easily a $10 billion a year company. We could be a $5 billion a year company within the next few years. I mean, that's potentially possible. And then we're going to eventually be, in my opinion, the biggest direct sales or network marketing company in the world. So when you look at the global top 10, we literally could be at the top of this list in the next 3 to 5 years. It's not going to take us a decade like it took World Ventures, okay, to get to $1 billion in annual sales, because we have the tech, we have the technology to be able to get us there. We're not going to have any bumps in the road in terms of the technology and being able to support users. You're going to be able to see that we can easily get to these numbers over the next 3, 5 to 7 years. And these companies have been in business for 50 years or 60 years or 70 years or longer. We have the potential, with just being half of 1% of those other companies I showed you, to easily be a $15 billion brand. So where do we go from here, right? What can you do? What am I asking you to do, or what can you do? Well, the first thing is that if you're serious about your business, you need to be in Orlando. So if you could beg, borrow, steal, whatever you need to do to get to Orlando, I would highly suggest doing it. If you need help, if you need assistance, if you want to be there, but for whatever reason, you don't know how to make it happen, shoot me a message today. I'm going to be available all day today. I'm going to be working all day today. Shoot me a message. You can send it to me on Instagram at Wes Melcher. If you don't have my number, if you have my number, text me, call me. Okay. I will figure out a way to help you get to Orlando. Reach out to me personally. If you want to be there, I'm telling you, this is one of the most important parts of your business, to be at this event, to be part of the beta test group of Influencer Pro and the things that we're going to announce. And so don't say I didn't warn you. Don't say I didn't tell you when you see all this stuff next week and you hear about the event in Orlando. But you could still get there. So message me. But here's something else that we're going to do. In celebration of our 2-year anniversary, on the Zooms this week, starting tomorrow night, okay, we are going to give a guest, okay? So this is your draw to get guests to the Zoom tomorrow night, Monday night, Tuesday night, and then Wednesday night. We will not have a Thursday night Zoom this week because of the convention. So we're only doing it Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So there's going to be 4 chances for your guest that gets on the Zoom to win a bucket list trip. So they will be able to choose any one of the 50 destinations that are on our bucket list, and they will be able to choose their bucket list 4-day, 3-night stay. So we're going to give someone the experience of being a member for 12 months in Bryte Lyfe, and it's going to go to a guest. They've got to be 21, okay? And what we would ask is that it would just be first-time guests. If they've not seen it before, if they've not been on a Zoom before, it's obviously the honor system. So our goal is to max out the Zooms tomorrow night, Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night with fresh faces, fresh names. Get out there and invite your best friends, your cousins, your aunts, your uncles, your friends, your neighbors, your kids' teachers, coaches, people that you go to church with, people that you hang out with. I want you to invite everybody you can to celebrate our 2-year anniversary. We're going to make 4 people's dreams come true. Sunday night, Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, to celebrate our 2-year anniversary. We're going to be giving away a bucket list stay of their choice to any of those 50 destinations. That's crazy. I mean, this is $3,000+ in retail value, maybe over $5,000 in retail value just for getting on the Zoom. Got to be 21. Okay. Needs to be a first-time guest. All right. First time being on one of our Zooms. And everybody that's on there is going to be eligible for that in terms of the guests. Okay. So your incentive is to grow your business, grow your brand, try to build your team going into Orlando, the announcements of this new technology. And tomorrow night on the corporate Zoom, which happens at 8 p.m. Eastern at brytelifenews.com, I'm going to be talking more about our Influencer Pro program and our B2B program that we're going to be announcing in Orlando. So I'm going to be giving you some more information, sharing a few more sneak peeks. And so you do not want to miss the corporate call tomorrow night. It is at brytelifenews.com, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Pacific, brytelifenews.com. It will not be recorded. So this will be your only opportunity to get a sneak peek of those new technologies that we're going to be sharing next weekend in Orlando. So you definitely want to get people on there. And then don't forget, save the date for November 20th through the 22nd. That will be our next event for Bryte Lyfe. We have a very exciting partnership with one of the largest music festivals in the United States that we're going to be announcing that weekend is going to be the festival. And so you're going to hear more about that. We've got an incredible VIP experience. The entire weekend is going to blow your mind. And so make sure you tell your spouse, you tell your kids, you tell whoever, this is the weekend before Thanksgiving. So make sure you block it off There's no conflicts with the holiday there, November 20th through the 22nd. I'm going to be giving you more details about that and giving you a little more secret sauce sneak peek on that tomorrow during the corporate call. So make sure that everybody comes back to the corporate Zoom tomorrow night, brytelifenews.com, and make sure you're inviting for that Zoom tomorrow night. You've got over 24 hours to invite for tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern, which is 8 p.m. Central, 6 Pacific, where we will be giving one guest a bucket list dream vacation. This is crazy. We've never done this before like this for 4 straight days, okay? But we're going to do it this week to celebrate our 2-year anniversary. And so we want to max these Zooms out. We want to have hundreds of people on these Zooms over the next 4 days. And so it's zoomviproom.com. You can use freetripzoom.com. So you can go to freetripzoom.com, and that way it will relate to them in their head for getting their bucket list vacation, just for getting on. No purchase necessary. They don't have to join, but I promise you, if you get people on and your person wins the drawing, they're going to become a member for sure. Okay. They're going to be jacked. They're going to be so excited. And so don't miss this opportunity. Tell everybody that you know about the Zooms. If you've got people that have been on the fence or that haven't ever gotten on a Zoom or that you've been trying to talk to, this is your chance. There is literally no purchase necessary. They can get on as a first-time guest tomorrow night, Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, and they can invite people themselves when they join, and they can get their guests on. So we can blow these Zooms up leading into Orlando and these exciting announcements that are coming soon. So make sure you're promoting zoomviproom.com. We're going to be giving away the first of those bucket list dream vacations tomorrow night. This training was recorded. It'll be posted within the hour, so you can just go right to our YouTube page. If you didn't have somebody from your team on here, I would send the link to this training to everybody that you've signed up, everybody on your team, so they can watch it, get the details, get excited about the future, the past, where we've been, where we're headed, what's going to happen in the future, what our company is going to look like, and the potential that you're sitting on. So thank you so much for being here today. Thank you for taking time out of your Saturday to be with us. We've got some exciting information that we're going to be sharing with you tomorrow night on the corporate Zoom, and some more sneak peeks of what we're going to be talking about in Orlando. So make sure you don't miss that and start inviting for the Zoom tomorrow night. Thanks, everybody. Have a great weekend. God bless. Can't wait to see everybody tomorrow.